Welcome. Today we're doing a short video on how to use the Design Center on our Cameo 4. So we have the Silhouette, our vinyl cutters, Silhouette Cameo 4. We have 2 of them, and you can also find a lot of information just by searching YouTube for different videos. But let's get started. You are going to look for this logo. Sorry, my desktop is so messy, but the Silhouette Studio software logo. And when you launch, it will look like this. I'm going to go ahead and open a new tab. You'll need your image ahead of time. So if you have it saved on your desktop or if you have it saved somewhere, you can do File Open. I went ahead and just copied an image off of Google and I'm going to paste it here. And actually that is not the one I want. So we'll go back. This was the image I wanted. So Control X and Control V. So here's my image. And, just keep in mind you shouldn't be copying anything that has been trademarked. So technically speaking, make sure that the logo is not trademarked. But this is just for educational purposes. So I just grabbed this image. You could trace this entire panel, but I'm just going to trace one for demonstration purposes. So if I wanted to trace this image, actually first, so this is your image board, your canvas board, and this replicates a 12 by 12 piece of vinyl. So this workspace is a 12 by 12, so keep that in mind. And I wanted to put this image on a shirt. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger, so I like to zoom in a little bit. And then you're going to come over to your trace panel, which is over here. And it is the 5th icon down. It looks kind of like a butterfly or a piece of peanut butter and jelly toast. And you're going to click on the trace panel. Now you're going to say select trace area. And you just trace it just like you would take a screenshot of it almost. I don't play around with these a lot. If you're having trouble getting a clear tracing, you can mess around with all of these things. If you choose a high resolution image or something you've created, usually you don't need to worry about these things. So I just leave them at the default. And then I'm going to click trace. And if it traced well, I'm going to move my image out of the way, and there we go. And so basically, I'm going to hit Control plus and zoom in. Anywhere you see the red line is where the vinyl cutter is going to cut. So if you see that these are kind of wonky, you can double click on them, see a bunch of dots, and you can come in here and start editing and playing around with these. I've used a lot of these different tools over here, specifically Simplify. But this was a pretty simple image and it traced really well. So I'm actually happy with it. I'm going to Control minus, zoom back out. And once you get it to where you want it, you could Control C, Control V, Control V. You could copy and paste them if you wanted several images to fit on one sheet. You could do this, or if you wanted to get really savvy with your vinyl and save vinyl, you could do this, because then you can cut a smaller piece of vinyl. So you just mess around with that. I'm just going to go back to one of these. Also keep in mind the size. So when you click on the image, it'll show you the size. A corner pocket logo, we usually do between 3 and 4 inches. So this would be a good size for a corner pocket. If you wanted it front full center, you could go all the way up to, again, this is a 12 by 12, but I wouldn't go much past 11. You don't want it to stretch too close to the edge. And actually, the vinyl that we buy, the Caesar vinyl, is 11.8 inches wide, so it's not quite 12 inches. So, but you get to the size you want. If you're doing heat transfer vinyl and you want it to go on a t-shirt, you actually need to mirror image it. So we're going to come up to Object, Mirror, Flip Horizontal. And that way it actually cuts it backwards. And then when you place it on the shirt as a heat transfer, it'll put it on there properly. If you are not, if you're doing sticker vinyl, or if your image does not have text in it, you don't need to mirror image it at that point. This really concludes the design step. Next, you would go to send. And we will do this in a separate video. We can talk about how to actually get all the settings set up to make the actual cut. Hope that was helpful. Always ask for help before you cut. Vinyl costs money. Thanks for watching.